Pasco.
Heat
24 hours a day.
1C.
And they have great food and drink specials, too, at Crazy Moose.
The 5 Graham Trucking.
The 5 Graham Trucking with Jimmy Shane. The 17 Miss Red Dot, Silver Cloud Inn, Kip Brown. The 18 Bucket List Racing with
Nate
Kelly
Brown
Stocklin.
driving the 17. Red Dot, Silver Cloud Inn, Kip Brown breaking his tibia earlier Friday morning.
It is time for Heat 1C.
Down there in the green boat, the U-21
we do. Kelly, you just
Miss HAPO Community Credit Union.
Racing
Brian
Kelly
Perkins.
Stocklin at the top end of the course.
You got all 5 of our contestants
at the top end, the U-18 Kelly Stocklin Bucket List Racing.
Finish line at speed. That'll make 4 of the boats that have done it, and we'll keep an eye on Greg Hopp, who is right now in front of Tony. He will come up and around and do it, and we'll have that part of our start procedure in the rear view mirror. 3 minutes and 55 seconds, guys. We haven't had a whole lot of close racing yet. And on paper, this one might give us the best opportunity. Anxious here to see just how hard Nate Brown wants to push the 17, the red dot. I know I'm going to call him Kip.
I already did.
I know it's gonna happen here.
Sorry, I beat you. I get the 400 points.
There you go. I'm in there for 300. Jimmy Shane, he looks to be the class in this one, but you never know. Greg Hopp, I would look for him to put the 100 Leland Unlimited into lane 1. And if he gets it there and he's on time, you'll have your hands full driving around him.
Well, you got the Miss HAPO parked in lane number 1, coming down at a slow troll just past the Northern Quest Resort Casino start-finish line for this Heat 1C from Tri-Cities Water Pulleys. Log on to waterpulleys.com. And the H-1 Unlimited Hydroplanes presented by Air National Guard. I want to thank again Master Sergeant David Painter for joining us on the broadcast to talk about the services that they provide to protect our country and so much more. Up the back stretch, it's the 5 Graham Trucking, and let's go over to turn number 2, Farmers Exchange Corner in Toniat. The 17 with Nate Brown coming up the back stretch.
Well, I really appreciate you guys leaving me with for 200 points when I go out and I say Kip Brown anyway, too. So I think you guys are doing great on that. Yeah, as they head down the back stretch there, and of course you see them right up in front of you, Michael. All of them starting to do the trolling and getting ready for some lane action here. The wind has picked up just a tad bit.
Right.
Just a little bit down here. Really not a lot to be annoying at this point, but again, that pocket of rollers that continues to roll right there, it is dissipating quite well today, but as the boats have been coming through, it's been sitting around there. So again, I see that little black area there where that current is starting to formulate right at the apex of turn number 2.
Guys, what just happened here was Greg Hopp came across start-finish line. He had not yet come across start-finish line at speed, and we were sitting here going, he's going across start-finish, but I would hate to have to call that quote-unquote at speed. And he came across start-finish line. We were having conversations here atop the tower, and then all of a sudden Greg Hopp turned the boat hard to the left, and now he's all the way up at the west end, and he's got to come across start-finish line at speed, or he has to start on the far outside. I think they made a little bit of an error in judgment on that one, and Greg's now behind the field as they come down here and set up for our 1-minute score-up buoy with 1:30 to go. Now he's coming across the line at speed.
And one other thing to mention down here, coming away from the docks, the HAPO Credit Union boat, the 21, came awfully close to one of those outside marker buoys when they were coming away from the dock. Haven't heard any word about any penalty, but it looked to me like they came within inches of clipping that buoy.
Watch them, Tony. We're 9 seconds, 8 seconds. Can't go across that buoy.
Everybody's going to be just fine.
4, 3,
HAPO is getting
2,
some speed. So is the red dot. Both of them right at the mark.
All right, so it's going to be the HAPO on the inside in lane number 1, the 21 with Brian Perkins. And snuck in between there, I think the 5's in correct me if I'm wrong, Tony, that's the 5 in lane number 2.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, but Brown can move over on him if he wants. He's got more than 5 boat lengths.
Well, you're right, and Nate Brown is going to pull the leapfrog maneuver and go out in front, and he's going to take lane number 1 away in the 17 Miss Red Dot Silver Cloud Inn, and now he has to go really slow. So it looks like Brian Perkins is going to be allowed to go into lane number 2, and I'm not quite sure if Graham Trucking, Jimmy Shane's going to hold on to lane number 3 or not. Hop's going to take the outside. He doesn't care. He's in the 100 Leland Unlimited. That's where he wants to be, but it is... I want to double check it. It looks like the Miss HAPO held on to lane number 1. So it's going to be Brian Perkins on the inside of the 21, Miss HAPO.
4, 3.
Where did Nate Brown fall off to? My goodness. He's in the middle of it. Oh, he is. Nate Brown is in the middle in lane number 2. So Jimmy Shane moved down in lane number 3. It's going to be Jimmy Shane leading the Graham Trucking number 5. Heading down the front stretch.
Shane coming down. He's going to get down here first. He's on the outside. Lane number 3 got Kip Brown and Perkins on the inside of him, and they're going to gain
be. Yes, it is. And Perkins just got a little bit of air, and he went back to the right side. It is both Jimmy Shane in the 5 Graham Trucking and Perkins in the HAPO as they exit out of the pin here going down the backstretch.
And a nice run for the Graham Trucking with Jimmy Shane. We've been talking about that boat all weekend, and this is the perfect heat to pick up some points. Brian Perkins trying to gain on the inside, and the 21 Miss HAPO on the outside. Nate Brown in the 17, and that is the Red Dot Silver Cloud at top end of the course. Brian Perkins will have the short trip around the track on the inside lane. In lane number 3, Jimmy Shane in the 5 Graham Trucking, and tucked in between, that's a tight tunnel to be driving through. Nate Brown in the 17 comes off the exit pin in 3rd place. It's going to be a nice run with Jimmy Shane in the 5 Graham Trucking across the Northern Quest Resort Casino start-finish line. 144.432 miles per hour, holding on to a rooster tail lead over the HAPO, the 21 with Brian Perkins.
But he's driving a wide race course. He's leaving a lot of room because he does have Nate Brown, who's driving in a tunnel between these two boats, and I think he's going to get wet down here, and he just did. It's Graham Trucking now through the exit pin first, but there was some slowdown there as he went wide. The HAPO, Brian Perkins, putting on a great race. Here comes the 17 Red Dot, and then followed up by the Leland Unlimited and Greg Hop.
And Greg Hop was gaining a little bit on the 17 with Nate Brown, and Nate got washed down a little bit, but he's back up to speed, heading up the backstretch in 3rd place. That's the race to watch for 3rd place with Nate Brown in the 17 and the 100 with Greg Hop back up to turn number 4 at the exit pin. A chance now for the Graham Trucking boat and to move inside a little bit with Jimmy Shane, and he's going to take the lead of about a half a rooster tail coming up the exit pin of turn number 4. 2nd place, it's Brian Perkins in the 21 Miss HAPO. The lap speed at 145.748 miles per hour, and Jimmy Shane's not backing off the throttle, not with Perkins right behind him.
Nope, the young man from Havre de Grace, Maryland is running a fine boat race here. He's on the white flag lap. This is the last one coming to you, Tony. Call him through. And it is a little bit choppy right through that corner. The apex is giving up nothing. It's got a lot of white water on it as both boats make their way out the exit and head down the backstretch. Brian Perkins having a great race in the 21 HAPO. Here comes the 17 Red Dot, and it looks like 3rd place for Nate Brown.
And also should mention Bucket List Racing with Kelly Stocklin out on the course at the top end right now, coming around for his 2nd lap to be complete. Now let's go back to our leaders. It's the 5 Graham Trucking with Jimmy Shane in 1st place. Brian Perkins trying to catch up on this final turn at the top end of the course in the 21 Miss HAPO, but it's going to be Jimmy Shane with at least 4 boat lengths at the exit pin, and now it's starting to pull away coming down the front stretch. And Jimmy Shane about ready to cross the start-finish line with 400 points in Heat 1C. 2nd place will go to the 21 Miss HAPO with Brian Perkins. 3rd place, Nate Brown in the 17. That's Red Dot Silver Cloud and a little air underneath the balances. And the 4th place finish for Greg Hop in the 100 Leland Unlimited. And a 5th place finish will be 18 Bucket List Racing finishing the heat, and that's exactly what Kelly Stocklin wanted to do.
Absolutely.
Finish the heat.
There yet, guys.
No, he still is coming around turn number 2 of the Farmers Exchange corner where Tony Ott is.
Making a wide turn here in front of the fans, and the fans are giving him some appreciation. They know exactly what this man has done to get onto this race course. Nice job.
Now, Brian Perkins is heading up the backstretch. Did we sense that we had any type of a penalty situation?
I have not heard anything, but in the driver's meeting, Brad, you'll remember that after they finish, they are allowed to go back around or come right back to the docks either way. So he made...
Yeah, is he running at speed, though? I can't see the race course right now.
Not so much right now.
Just trolling down there.
Would this have anything to do with hitting the pin over there, as you said, Jeff?
I haven't heard anything on the radio, but I was pretty sure he hit the pin coming out.
Now the question's going to be,
the
question's going to be, hitting the buoy and dislodging a buoy are 2 entirely different things. He can hit it. If the buoy's still there and it's still a marker, he's good.
Boy, I tell you what, Kelly Stocklin has a nice ride going in the 18 Bucket List Racing off the top end of the course. It's a little choppy out there, and he was getting up, walking on those waves.
Yeah, he's walking on those spots. It's pretty good for the first time out, but he did a great job first race, and he brought it home, crossed the finish line, and